Alright guys, I'm gonna make a Fortnite tier list for the current guns in solos competitive. And this tier list is definitely subjective to change because there are some leaked guns that look pretty sweet. Like the drum shotgun, which should replace the tac shotgun. Hopefully it's a lot better. And the leaked stats, if they're correct and aren't gonna change, seem really good. Because it might be doing like 50 damage max shot and shoot 4 times a second. So that's 200 DPS on a shotgun. It's really good, but it might be changed. It probably will be changed because it's the same rating as the tag shotty, so that would be pretty overpowered. Um. Anyway, pistol is gonna be an F tier. It's pretty much the worst gun in the game. Uh, it's not bad early game, but you're not gonna hold it anytime after that. Its bloom is terrible. Damage fall is not that bad, but suppressed pistol, it's gonna be in D tier. It's a lot better than it's basically just a better version of the pistol because it's a 4 shot kill and has a little bit better bloom as well. And yeah, it's damage like it's suppressed, so you can be pretty annoying early game at a range. But again, you're not gonna hold it past then. Deagle E tier. I mean, it might be a little bit of a controversial pick to be below the suppressed pistol, but like it, now that it can't one shot walls, it's pretty terrible. Like at a range, it can still be pretty decent. You can chunk them for a 100 damage headshot, but in my opinion, it's pretty outclassed by the infantry rifle that does a comparable amount of damage. I mean, it doesn't do quite 50 damage, so it's not a 2 hit, but it shoots a lot faster and has a larger magazine size. So in my opinion, it pretty much outclasses the Deagle. And you have to be really accurate with the Deagle for it to be effective as well. The tactical shotgun, it got buffed at the beginning of season 9, but it's still not very good. I'm gonna put in B tier just because it's a shotgun. So like you'd still most likely rather have a tac shotty over not having a shotgun, but like it's not very good, especially compared to the combat shotgun, which let's get this out of the way. It's definitely the best gun in the game in this meta right now. It's an S tier. Um, Flintlock we can do next. Now is a really good gun. I think I'm gonna put it in A tier because like it does 180 damage headshot with the green one, and that's really good. You can one shot a lot of people, and it one shots can one shot walls almost like the old Deagle, but it can't one shot fully built wood walls. Another advantage is you can use it almost like an impulse, so it's basically just a Deagle but optimized for close range in every way, pretty much. Um, yeah, and even you can hit someone for 36 longer range. I don't really recommend doing it, but if you hit a headshot, it can be kind of for the memes. I mean, you can use it, but you'd just rather use an AR most likely. Infantry rifle, I'm gonna put it in the A. This variant, I think it's a little bit underrated, and then this variant can be in the S. Because if you're accurate with it, you can just completely beam kids with it. It's basically an AK with complete accuracy, and it makes it really good. And the AK can be in the A tier. I'm not a big fan of it, but because it's really bad bloom. But I mean, for the first couple shots, early to mid game, like it's only a 3 shot kill, so that kind of saves it from being like a B or C weapon. And the regular A, I'm gonna put A tier as well. This trifecta, I think it's a little bit better than the AK. Maybe not the blue one, but not quite as good as the infantry rifle. And the Scar can be an S, better than the infantry rifle in competitive, just because you're not generally going to be holding more than 3 guns, right? 2 or 3 guns. So the infantry rifle would be better in pubs, in my opinion, because you can hold like a full loadout of 4 guns most of the time, but um, if you're only able to, like, if for 2 guns, you're sacrificing a lot holding an infantry rifle and not like a SCAR, or put the tech IR in S tier as well for competitive, um, because you don't have anything to spray down builds. That's the main issue with the infantry rifle, which is holding it back a little bit. But I mean, it's somewhat okay at destroying builds. Um, yeah, it's decent at destroying builds, but you're sacrificing a lot if you're holding 2 things. So if you're holding an infantry rifle, then you're definitely gonna want to hold something that can destroy builds, like a drum gun or a TAC AR or a SCAR. Um, and the combat shotgun is, because you're always gonna want to hold a combat shotgun, right? It's in every single loadout. That's why it's the best gun in the game. But like, it's not like the combat shotgun obviously can't destroy builds, and neither can the infantry rifle. So if you're holding the two, it's sacrificing quite a bit because you want to be able to spray down people's builds, especially if like you're not on high ground. You want to be able to spray down people on high ground. Scope they are is pretty decent, but like you know, really, it's not ideal to use. Um, yeah, the heavy sniper is gonna be an S tier. My opinion is probably not quite as good as the other weapons in S tier because kind of a similar issue to the infantry rifle. If you're holding it, you definitely want to be holding 3 guns, and that's sacrificing like a consumable slot you could be holding. But it is easily the best sniper in the game. I think it's a little bit overpowered. I think they should nerf the damage to like 140 and 146. It'd still be really good and be able to one-shot walls, which is its like one of its main things. Double heavy sniper is really good, but you wouldn't be able to kill someone all the way down from 150 health. So it'd be a reasonable nerf, I'd say. Um, Still probably be where it is now if they nerfed that. Suppressed sniper is not as good. I want to put in A tier, but I'm gonna put in B tier just because, like, a heavy sniper. Because the thing about snipers is, like, you cannot use them in place of an AR or an SMG, really. So that means you're gonna have to hold 3 guns at least when you're using them. And the suppressed sniper, like, is barely not good enough to be worth it, I think. But the heavy sniper is worth it because it's high damage and high damage to walls. Next up is the proximity grenade launcher. I'm gonna put it in B tier. A little bit better than the suppressed sniper. It's pretty good, but again, gonna have to sacrifice a consumable slot, which might not always be worth it. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the grenade launcher and the rocket launcher in there as well. They're all pretty good. I think the grenade launcher should be vaulted because it can be very overpowered if you get lucky grenade bounces. Like there's no counter to it if the grenades bounce, luckily. But if they don't, I don't think it's quite as good as the rocket or the proximity launcher. The proximity launcher is kind of a little bit overpowered as well, but it's kind of an interesting gun. Drum gun, C or B. It's not as good as people say it is because they nerfed it a while back. I'm gonna put in B tier. Has like more range than the burst SMG. Well, a little bit, but it does have damage fall off the builds, which holds it back. And like people say, it shreds builds, but it really doesn't. It only does like 18 damage to builds, so that's like takes over a second to, or over half of a second to do 100 damage to walls. Like the burst SMG is a little bit better at taking walls, but it does have that 50 magazines.